Let me start by saying you guys knew this was going to happen. Wow. I can't believe I'm at this point. It's like low key I am completely in denial, you know. Um I was actually at work today and I realized it was Thursday and I was like, "Oh, it's just another Naruto episode today." So, I'll watch it when I get home or whatever. And I get home, I sit down, turn on my computer and all of this and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get to watching some Naruto. And I go on Facebook and I see the hashtag Naruto Shippuden and hashtag Naruto Shippuden episode 500, and I start seeing all the memes and all the stuff like, the road that has happened or whatever, and I'm low key like, oh my god, Naruto's ending. So I'm just like, I gotta watch it. I gotta go. So I start watching it, and let me just tell you, I cried the first time I watched it. I watched it, and if I cried during the review, you know what? It's forgiven because it's Naruto. So obviously, since it's Naruto, it's going to start with the emotional. With the emotions. They're gonna trigger you with the emotions. So they're going to put Iruka in bed lying down, and they're gonna start from the beginning. They're gonna do this shit. They're gonna start from the beginning. They're gonna put you the scene of Iruka and like all of the things that Naruto went through, and when he took the scroll and this and that. So you obviously know this episode about to make you cry like you've never cried before. You freaking know this. Like, you know this, You walk in here and you're like, I know what I came here for. I came here to cry. So as soon as I started this happening, I started crying. I legit started crying. So it goes through the Iruka part, and it's where like, okay, this is what happened. This is when I first acknowledged him. That's when Naruto really first started, and then it starts going like it has the emotional moment, and then it starts showing that he's grown. It went from just the kid's part to how much he's grown. So Iruka's like, okay, I have to do the message now, and it's like, you're ready, what the F is going to happen, so you're like, I'm gonna cry. So then we see the how the new generation is kind of like Naruto trolling, and how they're trolling the third Hokage's statue and stuff, and we're like low-key okay about this. So it starts with Iruka talking to Konohamaru, which I hadn't even like understood that was Konohamaru. So it starts with that again, and then Iruka's like, oh, I don't know what to do, blah blah blah, this and that, and he's lost on what to do. So then he just leaves. He's like, peace. And people start coming up to him like, yo, aren't you gonna talk for Naruto's thing? And he's like, nah, I'm just gonna let the Hokage do that. Then Ayame comes, the one from Michiraku, as he's walking into the distance, and she's like, yo, what's up, fam? When are you coming? And then he's like, I don't know what to do, fam. And he starts seeing, what he really loves about being a teacher is like the kids growing up and this and that. And then it starts hitting him, Naruto completely trusts him, and he's always spoke his mind. He spoke everything he felt. So he's like, why am I struggling so much when this is someone I care about? And then he goes back home, he's cooking, he fails epically when he cuts his finger and he drops everything. So pretty much me when I cook. And he's like struggling and there's a knock on the door. So he's like, yo, what? And he sees it's Naruto. And this is like the first time we've seen Naruto in this whole thing. Like in this the wedding ceremony thing. So he's like, yo, what's up? What'd you do? You fucked up. I'm gonna beat you up. And Naruto's like, yo fam, don't do this to me. And they're having their little funny part. They're bonding. And Naruto's like, you fucked up dinner. And he's like, shut the fuck up. Are you neglecting Hinata? It's your fault. You're an asshole. And then he starts scolding him, which we're so used to because it's Iruka, and he's like another father to him. So, or he's like a father to him because his dad is dead. Sad. So, Iruka's like, I'm gonna freaking yell at you. I'm so salty about how you're treating her bad and stuff. So he drags Naruto away. And he's like, you know what, you're gonna apologize to her for, and I'm so mad because I raised a little bitch. And Naruto's like, this isn't what I wanted to talk to you about. What I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to, first get you drunk and maybe do some stuff, some like dude stuff. And Yuruka's like, what the fuck are you doing, fam? We're not doing any of that shit. And he's like, you know what? No, I didn't mean that. I wanted to ask you something. And it's something really personal. And oh my god, I'm trying not to cry. He's like, I have a request. And when Naruto talks and says this, I legit bursted out crying. When he said, will you attend the ceremony as my father, I just burst out in tears. I was done. It was like, this is the first time I cried watching this episode, and I burst into tears. I was done. And I was like, oh my goodness, yes. And I was like bawling tears. This is such a wonderful part because we know Iruka's like a father to him, and just to see this actually happening, it was like, I don't know, it touched my soul. So now Iruka isn't as lost as he was before. He knows I know how I should be going at this. So Naruto leaves, and then Iruka goes to eat some ramen, and he's like, I figured, I'm happy about being a teacher and all of this because of this wonderful opportunity this wonderful experience that I'm experiencing and whatever. So let me get some ramen so I have my own little sentimental moment. So then it goes to the next day, and he's walking around this and that, and he sees Hinata, and he goes up to her and starts talking to her like, yo, what's up, Hinata? What are you doing here? How are you? And Hinata's like, he's like, oh, I have something to tell you. I'm going to be Naruto's father figure or Hinata actually tells him, and he's like, "Oh, you knew," and she's like, "Yeah, you're Naruto's dad." In everyone's eyes, Iruka's like a second dad to Naruto. So then he's like, Hinata tells him how Naruto was low-key struggling, just as Iruka has been struggling for these past couple of episodes. And that's when Iruka realizes, I know what I have to do. I know how I feel, and now I can approach a video for Naruto and just do it right. So Hinata, she starts giggling and stuff because Iruka's like low-key embarrassed. He doesn't know how to act. So Iruka gives Hinata some money for her to spend for the wedding, and she's like, "No, don't take this because I can't do this." And it's like right now at this point, so many emotions are going through. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that this is actually happening. So just keeps going, now Konohamaru is like, Iruka's ready for the video, and Konohamaru is like, alright, let's go, let's do this. And Iruka fucks up on the video, and he's like, no, just let's do it again. And then he finally does it. And they do a montage, or Kishimoto does a montage of sorts of everybody congratulating Naruto. And this is the second part of the second time that I started crying. I started just bawling tears like, oh my goodness, this is just beautiful. And all of the messages just really get to you because you're like, damn, this really has happened. And when we see Iruka's message at the end, you see it's like from a father's point of view, and you're crying already. I was crying, so if you weren't crying, I don't know what you were doing. So I was bawling tears, and then we skip to the reception. It's like, this is really about to happen, and people start arriving, and we see final time just all of the characters that we have loved for years just reuniting once more, and we see how they've grown up, and we see also the relationships that have formed, Shikatema and Saino. We see how, like, they're so in love, and it's just so beautiful. And how the wedding ceremony is like low-key reuniting them. Then we see Sasuke's hawk coming down, and I was pretty salty about this part because I feel like Sakura shouldn't have been the one to receive the message, because we already know, like, Sasuke's and Naruto's complicated relationship, and just the word congratulation would have meant a lot to Naruto to have received it from Sasuke. So the fact that Sakura was the one that opened the message was kind of like it wasn't meant for her. I know it's Sasusaku, I get it, but I feel like it wasn't meant for her. It was meant for Naruto, and it would have really meant a lot to him to have received that from Sasuke. So, we can't do anything about it. But then we see the reception, and we start seeing everybody just talking amongst themselves, this and that, taking pictures, and just a beautiful conclusion that's happening right now. And then we finally get to see Hinata dressed up with her wedding kimono, and she's just so beautiful, and she starts talking, she starts saying, Neji, this is I'm getting married, this is happening. We see Naruto looking at Minato's statue, and we know he's like, Dad, this is my day. Oh my god, I'm about to cry. And when Hinabi comes and says, let's go Hinata or whatever, we're like, oh my goodness, this is just so gorgeous. I'm at a loss for words at this point. And the ending happens. We see Naruto and Hinata just walking away as they're going to get married. I loved the episode. I really, really did. I cried a lot and it was very emotional. But I felt like even if they wanted to end it at episode 500, perfect. But they should have done more to the episode. I feel like they should have added their actual wedding and, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards of them getting married. At least that. And we also needed to see Naruto becoming Hokage. So I feel like they could have made Naruto longer, but I understand that, Kishimoto just kind of wanted to end it. But there's a lot that, we still want, or that should have been put. Like, they should have added, after Naruto's wedding, so first of all, they should have added the wedding. I would have personally liked Sasuke to have been there because he's Naruto's friend, but I understand, he was away and all of his drama. And I understand that, but I feel like they really just ended it because they ran out of time, and they could have just done a 40-minute episode and nobody would have bitched about it, they should have added, the actual wedding when Naruto would say I do to her, or whatever it is in the Japanese culture. It would have just been so beautiful to experience that. And they should have done a time skip at the almost at the end of the episode, and we should have seen Naruto's Hokage ceremony, and maybe like something dramatic as an ending after him becoming Hokage. Like, there's so much more that we viewers want, and that should have really been put out there, because Naruto has been going on for a hell of a lot of years, and the ending was just, it was gorgeous, it was amazing, but it needed more. It was like half of the ending. Like, I would expect, I expected there to be episode 5 or 501, but Kishimoto ended it like that. Whatever. It was beautiful. I'm so happy, and it's bittersweet because I know it's now ended, but at the same time we're going to get the Boruto series, so there's that. It was just really beautiful. I can't, my complaints are really just kind of minimum, but I think the biggest issue was that they should have added more. They should have really added more. But, we get what we get. Boruto is starting next month, so there's that. Yeah. Salty. So, yeah. Kind of like unrelated, but not really. If you guys are waiting for my chats, Mandy-nee and Andrini, or oops, that's her actual name. Mandy-nee and Sasuke are actually finishing the story, the last story. I know I've said this a million times. I am waiting for them as well. They are finishing the story. Mandy-nee's finishing the edits. I've done my part. I'm just waiting on them. Once she's finished with the edits and the story, I will post it immediately. I'll get the time after work. If I have to, stay up a bit late, I'll do it. But I'll post it. I will post the ending, and I will also post another video after I finish uploading the chat. I will also post another video of me talking, and that'll be, concluding everything of my channel in regards to chats. So yeah, I know it's kind of sad because Naruto just ended, and now we're talking about the ending of me being a chat maker, which I've been doing for like 7 or 8 years. So it's a lot to take in, but I'm happy about it. Everything is great. Everything has been beautiful. So yeah, so just stay posted, stay checking the channel. As soon as Mandy-nee and Sasuke give me the last story and Mandy-nee has all of the edits done, I will get to posting the chat. It'll just be like bam. As soon as I get them, the next day I'll start posting, because I really want to finish the chat, and I want to finish. So there's that. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. It's been really emotional for me, and I hope to see you guys again soon on my channel. Leave below any comments or any thoughts that you had about this episode. It was really emotional, so I would like to see how you guys reacted to it. I hope you liked my review, and if you didn't, you're more than welcome to leave a dislike or leave a comment saying that you didn't like it. But yeah, other than that, please like the video or dislike it, whatever you feel. Leave a comment down below letting me know how you feel about everything as I just said, and remember to subscribe because I haven't finished uploading my chats yet. That's it. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day / night, and I'll see you guys again here only on Diamante Uzumaki's channel.